Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Left Bench Podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about what happened in Week 3, going into Week 4, and, of course, always the banter between us three. With me, as always, Aaron Lajeunesse and Ryan Pringle. How are you guys doing?
Solid, man. How about you?
I wish I was doing better with fantasy. Let's just say that.
I'm doing great.
Yeah, must be nice to have Lamar Jackson.
It's great.
Just say
Love
that.
it.
I just want to give you a special thanks, Kevin, for helping me out this week by sending Joel a nice trade that effectively helped me win. You and Christian both, actually. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. The trade did not help me win, so
Lamar Jackson's just making up for that Kenneth Walker auto pick.
Hey, I think Lamar Jackson is making every fantasy manager happy right now. Let's jump into it. Let's look at Week 3 and talk about what we have here. We'll start right off at the top. Me versus Aaron was the matchup in Week 3, and as you can see,
it went great.
It did not go well for me. I had my worst week, and Aaron had quite a good week. Beat me pretty easily. I don't think there was a real time where I felt like I had a chance.
No, not at all.
It was pretty bad, especially after.
We know how this conversation's going to go.
Yeah. We could just jump into the next week if we want to really.
Let's say on this week. I like this week. This is good.
Yeah, Tua getting hurt for me. I took a chance. Was going to ride with Tua.
Bad after that, so I was like, "Oh, I mean, that's not even."
You didn't stop.
Yeah, and then I remembered I didn't give a shit about your feelings.
That was tough. Mixon, I don't know what I'm going to do there, but I know he got hurt and didn't play in the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah, come on, Bengals.
Pittman and Sutton did okay. Irv Smith, that was a flyer. The one that's really kind of I got to figure out. I'm just hoping it was Kamara coming back from his injury. They looked like the game plan was a little more to get Mark Ingram involved and not use Kamara as much. So hopefully going forward, that's not the case. Which
it's like you had a bad week. Yeah, it was still solid.
You were already out of it, but like Saquon Barkley on Monday night, dude, I mean, that's solid.
I'm loving Saquon on my team. I'm glad I took a chance on him. But, I mean, to be honest with you, your team, Lamar Jackson, it really just put everything else that I did. It didn't matter. Adam Thielen had a great game for you.
He really did.
DK Metcalf and Nick Chubb.
I was surprised DK did as well as he did, too. I mean, with him, 12 targets, 5 receptions is kind of, wow.
The 12 targets is what you're hoping.
Yeah.
I heard this stat that it was Geno versus Russell Wilson so far, and like completions and touchdowns, like all these things, these quarterback metrics, except for passing yards. Geno had Russell beat.
Yeah,
and
he's still figuring it out there in Denver.
Can we talk about Russell Wilson for a second and how terrible of a quarterback he really is?
Ryan's been selling that for the
I've been saying this for so long, and now we finally have the proof. If he's not running and getting out of the pocket,
you say the exact same thing about Lamar Jackson.
He's a little. He can actually sit in the pocket sometimes, but like you saw it in the game against the Niners, he wasn't good until he got out of the pocket and started moving around. The whole game, awful.
Russ is effective though, and he doesn't get injured. And so, and if he can do that consistently, but it's
there's definitely something wrong with Russ right now.
Yeah, he's not good.
Yeah,
it looks bad. It looks like they're attempting to make him up. It looks like what the 49ers tried to do with Kaepernick at the tail end, where sit in the pocket and don't do what you're supposed to do. Or don't do what you're good at.
He has no excuse to get out of the pocket if there is a pocket.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so now you're seeing he can't make these throws.
Well, I think it's early, a little or too early for me to go, oh, well, Russell Wilson's awful. But, man, it just
he's been awful for years.
Good.
Let's be honest.
Okay, Ray. We'll move on to the next game. I think I've taken my punishment enough from Aaron. Thank you. The next game here, we've got Matt versus Jeb. And Jeb got the win, knocked off Matt. He was 2-0.
Yeah.
There was a time where early on, I thought Matt was going to win.
Undefeated this season.
Yeah. Tony Pollard got enough for Jeb to win on Monday night. Got 105 yards on 13 carries for Tony Pollard. That's pretty nice. Matthew Stafford, what are you guys' thoughts on him? Because he is not putting up the fantasy production that you thought Matthew Stafford in that offense would do. 12.65 points in this league is not going to win you many weeks. So I think Jeb was pretty lucky to get that.
Yeah.
I think Matt Stafford.
Question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Aaron.
No, you're good.
Go for it.
You go.
All right. I mean, I think it brings up like how bad actually is that elbow? Is that still affecting him?
Well,
I mean, could that be it? Or
after the season started, you haven't. At least I haven't heard anything about it.
No.
I don't know if that's been a hush hush. Hey, we're not going to talk about this anymore. But he definitely hasn't produced the way that everyone thought that we know Matt Stafford could do.
I always thought that the Rams caught lightning in a bottle with Matt Stafford last season, and they had a very short window, and they caught it. They won their Super Bowl, and going forward, I don't think that they're going to be able to reproduce what they had last year. Matt Stafford always had a crutch of like Calvin Johnson to throw to, and a lot of his numbers were very garbage time, garbage end of the season numbers. And so all those first to 20,000 and youngest to this and youngest to that were all, Hall of Fame wide receivers that he's just hucking a ball up to, that 6'5" guy that can bail him out. So like, I'm
not comparing Cooper Kupp to Calvin Johnson, but
I'm not either.
I mean, Cooper Kupp's not awful. It's not like he doesn't have a top wide receiver to throw to.
Yeah. I think you see a lot of the same thing, though. He's trying to forcing the ball so much. He doesn't. He's not going through his progressions. He's not getting to that second and third progression as well.
Cooper only has had 6 targets last game, so I wouldn't say fair. That's anything.
You saw that a lot in week
crazy.
2, though. Like he just
yes, you
forced
did.
It.
Yes. Going back to this game, Hollywood Brown finally got the Uber target share that
was it 17. I think
17 targets, 14 receptions. That's what you were hoping to get through these first 6 games with DeAndre Hopkins out. It just really hyper target Hollywood Brown, and
28 points without even scoring a touchdown.
Finally paid off for him. And then Cordell Patterson, man, I will own up to it. I was not high on him. I thought there was no way he was going to repeat last year where he was relevant. And he has proven me completely wrong. That's not to say that he's going to be able to keep this up, the top 4 running back in fantasy all year, but man, he has looked good.
Even with sharing carries,
and it wasn't even like you think. Cordell Patterson, he's great. He excels when he's catching the ball. This game against Seattle, 17 carries for 141 and 1 touchdown. That's he only had 1 reception. This was all on the ground, and he really showed that he can still be a top back in this league.
It's also against Seattle.
Runner, you give him space.
But Seattle
kick return
at
style.
Home, it just not that is anything like that, like they've been, but I mean,
it's still
that was
away games for anybody,
I don't know, Matt's team. It was solid, but it wasn't. I mean, it was kind of like my team. There was just no standout player, and when you're going against a guy that kind of had 2 bigger standout guys, it's just not gonna be enough.
It was still a narrow victory, and Patrick Mahomes had an off week, so had Patrick Mahomes lit it up like he normally does, I think it probably would have went better.
Yeah,
so it's what Matt. Well, Patrick Mahomes didn't get too many fantasy points last week either.
Well,
so
we
did he do last week?
Mahomes
Yeah,
had 19,
Yeah.
and then 38 that week
Yeah.
one where he had the 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, 19 is not – it's not Patrick Mahomes. You're hoping to get up in the 20s, but 19 is not awful. It's not like he had I wouldn't say that's an off week for,
I think it's an off week for Patrick Mahomes.
Fair.
So, like, I would expect him to be in at least, like, the 27s, closer to 30 consistently.
Moving on to the next game here, we've got Ryan versus Joel. Ryan had that same type of week like Matt and I, but
Man, what's with all these
low
scores?
It wasn't. Hey now, not all of us can have Lamar Jackson. We've already been over that. Okay, let's move.
Here we go. The whole episode.
Okay, we can't, Ryan. We can't have Aaron.
Can you mute him from your side?
I'll be here next week.
Oh, yeah. We can't have him having the high one of the high points in the of the week next week.
What's great here though is that Ryan would have won even without that gimme trade I gave him.
Oh God! Here we go.
Yeah. Do you have a quarterback on the bench? No. Would you? Let's see. Yeah. Had you?
He would have had Fields
taken out Kirk Cousins.
You still would have won.
You still would have won.
Yeah.
That's a rough week for Joel.
Barely, but that's I don't. Man, his team.
Brady's not a good
has guys that I like, but just, I mean, obviously. You would have loved to have Derek Carr's production. He had guys on hit. Look at this bench.
Yeah, the bench.
22.
That's what I was saying. All those trades you guys did got him to take those guys from his lineup and bench them instead. Because he had last week, I think he had Jamal Williams.
Oh, you would have crushed
his starting lineup.
He still would have started. Although, like guys that I could see in your flex. This one, Elijah Moore is with Zach Wilson. I think coming back next week. I'm curious to see what the Jets wide receivers do. We see a change in Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, and Corey Davis, see who kind of takes that number one.
Man, I almost feel bad after seeing his bench.
Yeah, the one I'm surprised about, honestly, is I'm kind of surprised he didn't put Russell Gage in there over Elijah Moore with none of the other receivers active in Tampa. Yeah.
It looks like he should have.
Gage was going to be the go-to guy.
But let's say he does that. He gets another 16 points. It's not enough.
It would have been close. It would have been close.
Yes, but what I think he's got to start, looking at maybe these guys with the higher profile names. Are they gonna pan out? Are they gonna, Mike Williams? He had that one great week, and the only reason that this week was saved was that touchdown.
That was his only target, I think.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
He had six targets, but only one reception, and it was a touchdown. And without that week is, you're putting up he doesn't catch that, you're getting a goose egg from Mike Williams, and that's
just Herbert. It doesn't.
He's hurt.
Rough. Those ribs are bothering him.
They are, and
he's
hoping
after everything,
Mm-hmm. How long is that going? Is that going to be? Hey, next week we're fine, or is this going to be a prolonged thing that's going to take weeks and weeks and slowly heal?
I think they might want to bench him for a week and just have him
getting
rest.
hit. It's going to take weeks and weeks.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game here, we've got Josh versus Corbin, and Josh picked up his first win, getting on the board there, and
Kyler Murray, dude,
man,
Carson.
This was a
rough game. War of attrition on this one. Travis Kelce though picked him up 18. It's
Travis Kelce.
Real quick, Josh, man, last week I said there was nothing to like about this team. Now you get your win. You prove me wrong.
Well,
somewhat.
I think we can still say there's probably not much to like about Josh.
He deserved this win though.
You had Tyreek Hill have an off week. Tyreek Hill had an off week. He had Kenneth Gainwell, who I think he was hoping to get another week out of and just didn't, wasn't there. The Philly offense they stayed passing the ball the whole game. He had a great week from Cooper Kupp again. I think that one's looking to be good. Maybe Jacoby Brissett's enough to make Amari Cooper a relevant wide receiver, but just not quite enough for Corbin. All of all of Josh's guys just kind of put that consistent
he got
week up.
solid production from everybody top to bottom.
Yeah, he got Kelsey, who is seemingly going to be Kelsey from until he's 45 like Tom Brady. I mean, the guy doesn't want to slow down.
He's putting up numbers every single week, man.
Yeah.
The one had Devo over here in that news. Oh my God, what a stinker that game was.
Yeah, that was. But I mean, 12 on a game like that. I mean, yeah, that's your second round pick. The one
that all day.
The one for me is Austin Eckler. 4 carries. I mean, you're drafting him in most leagues, top 4, top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And he's getting 4 carries, especially when your quarterback's hurt. You think that would lead to more carries for Eckler.
We've seen this from all those top backs. Nobody's produced. Jonathan Taylor. Derrick Henry finally had a decent game.
Yeah. Well,
it's
because there was snow in Vermont.
Yeah.
The Yeti came out, so fun little thing that from another podcast I listened to, the Fantasy Footballers. They mentioned that when there's snow in Vermont, the Yeti Derrick Henry comes out and has a great week. And before this week, they said that there was snow in Vermont, and sure enough, Derrick Henry had a game. So that's something that I will now be paying attention to as a Titans fan from here on out. I think that's absolutely hilarious. These random stats that just seem to, or there's another one with.
There's always something out there.
With the Dolphins, with Tua, and always beating quarterbacks where they have the letter O in their last name.
O. Yeah.
How do people figure that out?
And you look all the way back through last year, it's that way. And you're like, how is this a stat that somebody caught on to?
And then lost every game that didn't have an O.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
So this week, how did they won? They beat, so they changed it this
just
week
break it?
because they just broke it, beating Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, yeah.
Yep. But stats like that are so funny to me. Moving on to the next game, Spud with the worst week, lost against Cody. Spud was another one of the 3 undefeated teams, and he lost. Yeah, David Montgomery, who had his backup had an amazing week when Montgomery went down early in this game. So you assume that probably, Montgomery would have had a good game had he not gotten
Still
hurt.
wouldn't have been enough though.
That Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson was
14 yards.
Yeah.
And he just there's obviously better days ahead for Justin Jefferson.
For sure.
I think all of us understand that, but
apparently Thielen took all his targets.
Yeah, Thielen finally had a game
this week. Yeah, for sure.
Darrell Henderson, I think that's one where he's going to have to maybe look to move off of Henderson, because Cam Akers' usage has now gone back up, and Henderson is dropping, and it kind of makes you go, maybe I don't want either of these guys if it's going to be so unreliable for both of them. Bateman didn't really have a great game. He just had one of those low weeks. It happens. He also has Justin Herbert, who obviously we've talked about a little bit with the hurt ribs. It wasn't the same. So congratulations to Cody picking up another win. He's been sticking by Joe Burrow, who finally had a game.
Jesus.
For the Bengals' sake, I'm glad that they finally won against, got a win. They beat the Jets. If they would have lost to Dallas and the Jets in the same year, back to back, I would not have let Pringle lift that down.
I would have had a paper bag on my head this whole time.
It would have been bad.
At least you're not CeeDee Lamb. Fan.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to talk about it.
CeeDee Lamb had him a great week. Yeah. His team just, it did what it needed to do. And then to the last game here, the high points of the week, Aiden versus Christian. And I mean, both their quarterbacks did great.
Both teams
Derrick
were
Henry.
great.
Derrick Henry had a good week for Christian.
Finally, good week. Yeah.
Man, Christian Kirk, Devonta Smith, he had him in. And Devin Singletary for Aiden. Both of these guys are probably what won it for Aiden.
Yeah. Get a couple of those one-off games from those guys, and then your other stars produce. There's just not much you can do.
I also think Christian was, at least I was also under the impression that Michael Gallup was going to make his way back and play last night in the Monday night game, and ended up not.
There's not much he could have done though. Like he would have got another with Pickens. I think was his only receiver.
Yeah.
6.9.
It wasn't enough to do anything. Obviously, he's having to make this change because Mike Evans was suspended. But
Christian has scored the most fantasy points, and he's 1-2.
It's the same, because Christian's got the most points scored against him, and then I've got the second most scored against me. I mean, you just have
That's rough, man. You're putting up points like that and still losing, and
it makes it hard. I mean, it's hard because do you just stick with your team and go, hey, everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna be able to, things will turn. We're not gonna go against the top guys every week. Or do you start to go, okay, well, we got to make changes. We got to do something. And obviously every manager is a little different in that.
I think you want to lean more towards like the instant, like I need to do something to figure this out. But like when you're putting up points like that, you just got to ride it with it. And stick it out and just have faith you're not going to keep going up against the highest score.
I think he does have, he does have some spots he can go look at. I mean, after week 1 with Javonte Williams getting like 12 targets, he hasn't looked the same. He hasn't been getting the same usage. Gabe Davis missed some time, came back, didn't really have a great game. And obviously, he does have Mike Evans on the bench. So I think Christian will be, that is tough to be 1-2. I know how it feels because I am also unfortunately 1-2.
Yeah. It's crazy how consistent Jalen Hurts has been too.
Yeah. I think he's probably him and Lamar Jackson are the two quarterbacks that you were able to get later on 5th, 6th round, somewhere around there, maybe fourth round, that have just played out of their minds. I mean, obviously so is Josh Allen, but I think
he went high.
Most leagues he was 2nd, 3rd round at the latest.
Yeah.
So to be able to wait a little bit and get these other guys who are putting up the same production is obviously the better way to go, but can't hurt having Josh Allen on your team. Looking at the standings here, Aaron, only 3-0 team. Congratulations. Go ahead and send that trade for Lamar Jackson.
I'm better.
Get that pushed through.
I got the last pick. I'm better than all of you.
I don't think that's how it works, but you can go with it.
Oh, God.
We've got Matt, Spud, Cody, and Ryan, and Jeb all at 2-1. And then Christian, Aiden, myself, Corbin, and Josh at 1-2. And then Lonely Joel down there at 0-3.
Poor Joel. Poor Joel. He's trying so hard to make something happen down there, making moves, and just nothing's working out for the poor guy.
That happens in fantasy, unfortunately.
Did the Chargers get him -4 points?
I think it was -6.
Is it -6?
Did he have?
Where is that?
-4.
I think it's defense.
-4. Yeah, giving up 38 to Jacksonville. I mean, that's tough. But yeah, that's the standings after 3 weeks. I hope all of the top guys lose and all the bottom guys win next week.
That's not anything, but
anything you guys want to talk about before we move into week 4?
No, let's go to week 4.
No, let's just move on in.
Yeah. And talk about how bad I'm going to beat the hell out of you, Ryan.
We will get there. Let's start at the top here. Let's start at the top. We'll get there.
All right.
Jumping ahead. I know you two want to have at it. We'll start here with me versus Aiden. We are both 1-2. Man, I really hope Josh Allen decides to take it easy next week.
Gets in a car accident on the way to the game, something.
I don't even need that. Just show up and maybe have a little tummy ache.
Wasn't there an issue with his hand or his shoulder or something?
He hit his finger on a face mask late in the game, and then
was that
the last throw of the game? He threw it in, he just.
Oh,
he's come out and said it's fine. Yeah, he's come out and said it's fine, but that last throw, maybe there was something to it. Obviously, he's not going to come out and be like, my finger's broken. I can't throw a ball more than 5 yards.
You saw it happen with Dak in week 1. You never know. See how it affects him when he's trying to grip that ball.
We'll see.
Christian McCaffrey hasn't been doing well.
McCaffrey. I mean, I would love to say Mixon's going to be able to keep up, but we'll see.
You got Saquon Barkley that should make up for both your running backs.
I hope Tua.
Huh?
What are you going to do with Tua? Is he going to play, or are they going to let him play?
I don't know. It's tough because it's Thursday night.
Right.
Well, what's going to be tough for me is they're going to come out Thursday right before the game, and they're going to be like, we did our investigation, and he's not going to play. And they're going to throw a fit or whatever. And I don't know. It's something that I've got to monitor. If I don't, if he doesn't play, we got Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
Dude, historically, against the Rams, Jimmy might go off. And so in division, the 49ers, I mean, they always...
I may need to look at the points and see if I get points for him running out of the other end zone. If so, man, he's going in.
God, what a horrible game. 11-10.
Yeah, we don't need to go back into that. That was brutal to watch.
So bad.
Let's never watch another football game like that again.
When the best catch is Kyle Juszczyk with the toe drag. Did you see that catch, Kevin? Oh my God, beautiful, beautiful.
God, will you shut up with the stupid fullback catch? You've been going on and on about it all week.
It was fantastic.
Who do you guys have winning this matchup? I'll let you two.
Between you and Aiden?
Yeah.
So I like Josh Allen, but I like your team for almost everything else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I think you're gonna get the same production from Singletary or Devontae Smith like that again. I mean, they potentially could. You don't know. But
do I get any production from Kamara? I mean, obviously, I want to.
Yeah, but I think you're going to get more solid production across the board from the other guys like Pittman and Sutton and Drake London.
Can I get anything out of Mixon?
So, all right, we figured out the pass block this week. Okay. So now we got to figure out the run block. That's it.
And then you put the two together. You're all right.
And we can look like a competent NFL team.
Yeah. So they're trying. They will try to get him involved early, but whether it happens or not, if he produces, we'll see.
I got to give it to you. Josh Allen can't carry the whole team. I mean, he hasn't been getting enough production out of McCaffrey. And the Cooks will have an okay week again, probably, but other than that.
Okay. On to the next one. We've got Matt versus Corbin. Given the slight edge to Matt's team here in the projections. Pat Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Cam Akers, Najee Harris. I know Corbin's going to have to make a move here. I know he's been putting in some trades and waivers, so I don't think Kenneth Gainwell's going to be his week 4 RB2. But there's
he's got to figure something out for his running backs. Man.
Amari Cooper,
the whole year
Olave.
riding Kenneth Gainwell.
No, and I don't think he will. As much as I like Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams we've been so high on Matt's wide receivers, I look at Corbin's and I like Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, Amari Cooper, Chris Olave, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper's been torching.
They've
so but the problem is Kyler Murray, and he is playing against Carolina, so hopefully the Kyler Murray will be able to pull his head out of his ass and actually, get some fantasy points. But
will he run the ball?
Yeah.
The thing that makes Kyler Murray special, the two things that hold him up, his legs, run the ball. Kyler, do something, and we haven't seen that.
I'm afraid of him getting injured. Like, it's not like Russ, but for being
you can't,
as bad as everybody hates Russ. Russ is very thick, like the way that he's built. Kyler's not like that. He's a little guy.
But you can't look at that and go, oh well, I'm not gonna run because I may get injured.
You have to go with what
you're going to lose games. You've got to play to your
run.
strengths.
Yeah,
and obviously, I'm not saying, hey, keep up with Lamar Jackson, but do something.
Like that's what makes him dangerous. That's what opens up the receivers downfield is him using his legs.
I think if you can get anything out of Kyler Murray, I would give it to Corbin's team.
Yeah, I can see that. I might actually. I think I'm going to take Corbin this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Corbin. But man,
I give it to Corbin too. I'm not feeling Deontay Johnson and Curtis Samuel down there.
I'm not feeling Devontae Adams.
Spud's team.
Because
Matt's team, sorry.
Carr is so bad.
Yeah, you've been a very big.
I want him to do well though. Is what the hard
Derek Carr.
It's not like
all of Derek Carr's flaws.
It's not that I think that he's a bad quarterback. It's just that I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with him. I just don't. There's too much of a team there for them to not be killing it, and it's
the only 0-3 team in the league.
Yeah, it's sad.
They got to figure their stuff out.
We all gave that one to Corbin. Moving on to the next one here, I will let you two banter a little bit here, and then I'll decide who I'm going to pick to win. We've got Aaron versus Ryan right now. Projections.
Projections.
Super even.
It shouldn't be though.
Here we go. I like it already.
Lamar Jackson's going to go off. You know, this is going to be the game.
He's finally playing a real defense. Let's be honest. Lamar hasn't played anybody.
Buffalo's been giving up points, haven't they? I mean, didn't they just lose to the Dolphins?
They lost. Well, the Dolphins are 3-0. I mean,
yes, true actually.
Like, they didn't give up that many points.
Making mistakes all over the place. They didn't give up a ton of points, but. I don't know. I gotta say, I got you beat at quarterback. I got you beat at running back. Depending on how Chase does, I definitely have you beat at wide receiver. Metcalf is going to go off for at least 25.
So I don't know. He's got you pretty handily beat at tight end, though.
Shut up, Kevin.
I will gladly point that out because Mark Andrews, man,
pass catcher Kittle back. That's all I want.
Nope. He's too good at blocking. He is too good at blocking.
You're starting Kenneth Walker and you expect to win?
I don't have anybody else.
What is happening?
I won't.
What? Is that all you got to say?
Yeah, that's all I got.
You're just mumbling over there?
Yeah, I don't know that that's a good play. I mean, I think you're obviously hoping for I don't even know if Julio Jones is going to be
Antonio Gibson against Dallas. He's going to get Micah Parsons going to eat that kid alive.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I'm really hoping for Julio to come back because I picked him up in that trade with you, and he hasn't seen the field since.
Yeah,
so, and we got the waiver wire coming.
Is DeAndre Swift gonna play? Because I think
I don't know. I need to watch that.
Yeah.
I think they said he should because I think they've got a bye in like 3 weeks, so rest these 2 weeks.
Coming back after
the bye.
Yeah,
that would be a huge blow to you.
What was his injury?
Because
was it his ankle?
It's a shoulder.
I think it was a shoulder.
Yeah.
Because do you have a running back in your flex? Kareem Hunt. You probably
I've got Kareem Hunt and Jeff Wilson down there
up, and then move somebody up. Like a
probably
Corey Davis or
Donovan
Peoples-Jones. Yeah, one of those guys, and get them up.
So let's. Walker will not be playing this week, so it will be somebody else in there. He's just a holdover from last week. You just got to wait. This is about to get real ugly for Ryan, Kevin. You better pick
the first spot on the waiver at the 3-0.
Yeah, I know.
And you get number one waiver.
Yeah, because they're like, he's so good.
Done any waivers.
He's so good.
Done any waivers.
And he's been so dominant that he hasn't
pay attention to anything. The 1 week he decides to pay attention.
Why did you bring it up to him?
No.
Go, hey man,
that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
He actually brought it up to me and asked me who you're going for.
Yeah. And so because
tell him you're going against. You got to play that better, Ryan. You got to be like, oh, I'm really looking to go after.
What are you talking? We were in the car and I already had it in. And I was like,
Okay.
and
He already had it locked in.
Well, good on Aaron then. Good on Aaron.
I see. I just wait. I wait. So, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the season until it's somebody that I really want.
That's definitely a way to play.
Anyways, I'm picking myself to win this matchup.
Man,
and dominate this
you're
matchup.
terrible at picks.
Well, I will tell you this. Because I don't think DeAndre Swift is going to play, I'm going to give it to Aaron.
That's fair.
And that Lamar Jackson is going to mollywop you.
Lamar Jackson will probably have 10 points.
Put up another 40.
If Lamar Jackson puts up 10, Pringle wins.
Lamar Jackson's not putting up 10 points.
I don't think he's going to either. But if he does,
Safety's coming back this week.
At least 25.
Micah Hyde? No, I think Micah
Hyde
Hyde
and Poyer, right? They were both out last week.
Yeah, their whole secondary was all rookies, and it was bad. So with DeAndre Swift out, I'm gonna give it to Aaron. We'll move on to Joel and Cody. Does Joel get his first win here? Brady, Burrow. I am curious to see if he does go down here and maybe move up like a Derek Carr over a Brady, who just doesn't seem to be kind of doing it this year. He's obviously missing a lot of weapons. I think he should probably move up Jamal Williams with DeAndre Swift out. So that'll probably be
that's for sure.
a big change. I mean, Michael Thomas, Mike Williams. Can you get anything out of Mike Williams?
Keenan Allen's coming back this week too, I think, isn't he?
Yes.
I believe.
I think he is.
Yeah.
I think he was close to playing this week, but didn't.
Yeah.
So I
think
he
finally got some production out of Kyle Pitts. That's good to see. So.
Yeah, it's still not the production that I think you're hoping for from Kyle Pitts, but it wasn't one catch for 20. It was actually something. Dalvin, is Dalvin Cook going to play? I think this is what Dalvin does, where he misses, 1, 2, 3 games a year and banged up again. Does he play? I think if Dalvin doesn't play, this is a great opportunity for Joel to take advantage and get that win. Yeah.
I mean, having Leonard Fournette and Tom Brady on the same fantasy team, I don't feel like that's a very good idea because he needs one. Look, he would need both of them to go off.
You'd need that. You'd want the offense to
that's asking a lot.
Light up, and they're just not there right now.
Yeah.
Well,
having a quarterback wide receiver is one thing because if you have one guy throw it together, you score both.
You get that stack, yeah.
Yeah, unless Leonard Fournette's catching the touchdown, then if he's rushing it, then you don't get the stack.
Yeah. I don't know. I think early, if Dalvin's out, I think I give it to Joel if, making a couple of these moves that we talked about, maybe Derek Carr, Jamal Williams. Although I do look at Cody's team and he does have Madison on the bench. So if Cook's out, he can just move Madison right up and be fine.
Yeah.
T. Higgins on the bench too.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with I'm better than Kev. Mostly because of the Tom Brady from that stack.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Cody as well. He's got T. Higgins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CD Lamb.
Yeah.
What was that? Is it a fan?
I think Cody will pull this one out.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to
see him keeping Duvernay on there.
Not well. If T. Higgins is fine, then I think he probably moves T. Higgins up.
T. Higgins should be fine.
Yeah. So I think that's probably what I'll do. I'm going to give it to Cody on this one. Sorry, Joel. I hope you get your first win soon.
0-4.
Then we've got Christian versus Jeb.
Christian's going to win.
And
it's not even close. With Derrick Henry and Jalen Hurts, especially if Derrick Henry performs. And then you got Christian Kirk. No, that's not. Jonathan Taylor hasn't done a goddamn thing this season. And then Matt Stafford, who also has
Jonathan Taylor against Tennessee in that division game. I mean, they're going to come out and probably.
Dude, Jeb's team is kind of. Yeah. Jalen Waddle, Brown.
James Conner's been awful.
James Conner and Cordell Patterson in his flex. I mean, I think James Conner will be fine. I think that offense is so bad because they're missing so many weapons, and
he might even bench James Conner and put Keenan Allen back in there.
Yeah, I would.
Very well could. So that Dortch has been lighting it up there in Arizona too. He can move up. Is Hunter Renfrow going to be out again? I mean, is that?
I think he's out. For sure.
I haven't heard anything about him. Any updates?
I'm pretty sure he's out.
But I think this is going to be a close matchup. Just looking at it.
Yeah, this Gesicki. Man, Conklin is... dude.
We also have CJ Uzama back now, too, so that's going to take away from Conklin a little bit. Because they paid Uzama a lot of money. And him being back in the lineup, I just don't see Conklin to continue to get the same amount of targets.
I think if Javonte Williams is not, if that offense is going to be down, man, as much as Jalen Hurts has been consistent and Christian Kirk has been consistent,
Conklin is...
he's got James Robinson, too.
Well, he's got James Robinson down there. James Robinson has been dominating. You can just move him up and throw somebody else in there, so...
Man, I think both of these teams have potential. I'm going to give it to Christian just because Jalen Hurts versus Matt Stafford.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's enough.
Derrick Henry versus Jonathan Taylor, too. I mean, at least Derrick Henry has one week and can talk about. Well, no, because week
Jonathan Taylor has one.
Jonathan Taylor's good week 1. Well, it's a what have you done for me lately sport, so Derrick Henry.
It is. It is.
I think it'll be interesting to see what these lineups end up being come Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this is going to be what you see. And I think there's going to be some moves made. And
there might be a little bit of change here. That's what he needs to do. He needs to put old Tannehill up there.
But
I'm kidding. Don't do that.
I think I'm going to go with Christian on this one.
I think I am too, but I think both teams have potential. Like if their guys hit,
it could possibly be another bad week for Christian where he goes up against the guy who scores the most points.
Yeah, it could happen. So I think we're all going to go Christian there. And then coming down here to the last game, we've got Spud versus Josh. Right now, they're giving the slight edge to Josh here. He's obviously, I'm curious if Montgomery is going to play or if he's going to be out of game. That's something for him to watch.
How is Josh's team favored?
Yeah, right? That actually doesn't
hate his team so much.
No, not in there. Man. I don't know.
I don't like it either.
Well, here you go. Here's why.
Kelsey
over Everett. I mean, there's a 7-point jump there. I mean, like...
Yeah, but like everybody else, come on.
I always feel like these numbers are so far off. Like, from what they actually... And so, like, Justin Herbert, healthy Justin Herbert, I mean, we wouldn't even be having a conversation right now because of going up against Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz probably is pretty close to being one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL. So, like...
Not this year, man.
He had one bad game.
I'll tell you what. Watch Ryan Tannehill and have Ryan Tannehill lead your team, and you'll be hoping for fucking Carson Wentz.
Are you kidding me? Did you watch Jamie Garoppolo against the Broncos?
I did, unfortunately.
Yeah. Did you see that game?
I would rather take Carson Wentz over Jimmy Garoppolo.
All right, thank you.
So let's not bash on Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. Get on Carson Wentz. All it was, he going to come beat me up? Fuck Carson Wentz.
Maybe. Hey, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give Carson Wentz a call here after this, and I'm going to let him know where you're at. Look. There's Carson Wentz right there.
He doesn't have anything to prove to me.
So,
like, but like,
yeah. I don't know.
I think he had a good first couple of weeks, and I don't think he's going to be doing much.
I think Spud's probably got to look at Montgomery and Henderson and maybe move up. I mean, he does have Dameon Pierce. He's
got Dameon Pierce down there. Yeah.
So he's probably fine to get one of them out of there.
Yeah, I like
if one of them doesn't play.
If that wasn't obvious from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give it to Spud. But do you get production from Eckler? Do you get production from Debo? Does Kelsey stay positive? Does he?
If Debo gets carries,
your team just sucks so bad.
If Debo Samuel gets carries, Debo can be really dangerous for your fantasy lineup.
Josh, You wanna talk some trades? I'll take Eckler or Debo or Kelsey from you. We can work something out. Both of us are 1 and 2. Let's talk. Don't listen to them. You do have pieces. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to Spud. I think he's gotten lucky with he's got Jefferson and Diggs on your team. I'm pretty happy with that every day of the week, even though Jefferson didn't have a great week last week.
I feel bad for Justin Herbert, man.
Why? Why would you feel bad for Justin Herbert?
Well, just being that young and getting injured like that and having to go out there and make throws.
It's not like it's a serious injury. It's just
not like he's never going to be
a couple weeks.
Yeah. He's fine. So that's what we have going through week 4. I hope I win and both of you. Well, I can't even say both of you lose because you're playing each other.
Unless we tie.
You could tie. I like it. Thank you, Ryan.
I don't think
it's not going to happen.
No, it's not. But now that I said
Lamar
it,
Jackson's really going to
enjoy getting the tie.
Anyway, I'm going to win. I'm going to go undefeated.
Good luck to you both. No. You can't go undefeated.
I'm going undefeated.
No.
Yeah, you're not going to win a single
Everyone
game.
needs a loss. Aaron,
I'm not taking a loss.
Your week's coming up.
It's not. And it certainly isn't this week. You're looking at 4-0, baby.
It absolutely is this week. Okay.
It's not this week.
Well, Ryan, I said this to Aaron last week. So good luck.
Y'all better learn your lessons.
I hope you have a better time than I did.
Aren't you 0-3 in your other league, Aaron?
Shut up. We're not talking about that league. My favorite part about it is that in the league that I got the number 1 overall pick, I haven't won a single game, and the league that I got the last overall pick, I have gone undefeated. So I'm just mirroring my leagues. I did that on purpose.
I hope you finally get that loss, Aaron. I'm taking it back. I'm going with Pringle. Pringle. I changed my mind.
Yeah, let's go,
Stop, Kevin.
Here. Hope your team wins.
I'm calling Lamar.
Thank you both for joining me. As always, this was fun. If you are new to this and first time watching this, go ahead and check our first couple of weeks out. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll keep doing this throughout the year. And we'll see the road to me taking the championship as I plan to do.
Got to start putting up some points for that.
We'll see. This week 4 it starts. It starts right here.
I've been putting up plenty of points.
Thank you for repeating that, Aaron, throughout this whole podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Good night, guys.